The DDR4 RAM crisis has now become a reality. Yes, you heard that right. Not only we have DDR5 crisis whose prices have skyrocketed, but now this crisis is affecting the DDR4 directly, which is a tremendous surprise and terrible, very terrible news for the world in general, because it means that you won't be able to find cheap components this 2026 anymore. Things like electronics, appliances, cell phones, none of this will be cheap this 2026 because all of this needs RAM memory in order to operate. And if the price of the RAM remains skyrocketing, then we could starting to see the first symptoms that the low-end and budget-friendly market is about to disappear. But stay till the end because I will bring 3 solutions so that you know what to do during this crisis. So before anything else, we need to check the price of the DDR4 over the last 18 months. Over here we have DDR4 3200 MHz 16 GB. We can see the price over here over the last 18 months or so. A year ago in January, we had the price sitting at around $50 for 16 GB of DDR4. Now, about 5 months ago in November, that's when we started to see the increase, but the price back then in November, it was sitting at around $80 or so, and right now there was a huge increase over the last 5 months. Right now the price is sitting at around $175, which means it has increased by 3 the price that it had a year ago. Now let's check 16 GB as well, but this is 36 MHz, which is a little faster. If we check over here, about a year ago the price was sitting at around $55. 5 months ago in November the price reached almost to 100, and the current price right now it's at around 175. It's almost the same as the one for 3200 MHz. Now let's jump to 32 GB. This is 3000 MHz. A year ago the price was sitting at around $75. 5 months ago the price was at around $125, $130. But if we check over here, since the beginning of the year, the price skyrocketed a lot. The current price right now for 32 GB DDR4, it's over $250. It's actually at around $260 for 32 GB of DDR4. Now let's quickly jump into 3200 MHz, the same 32 GB. A year ago the price was at around $70, $80 probably. 5 months ago the price increased to over $140, and the current price right now it's reaching almost $300 for 32 GB of DDR4 RAM, 3200 MHz. And the last one for 32 GB, it's the DDR4 3600 MHz. The price a year ago, it was again almost $100. 5 months ago, it was sitting at around $170, $180 probably. And the price right now, it's over $300 for 32 GB of DDR4 3600 MHz. And the last one that we're gonna check, it's 64 GB, again DDR4. This is the one for 3200 MHz. A year ago the price was at around $120, $130 probably. 5 months ago it increased to $300, somewhere around there. But since the beginning of the year, same with the other DDR4 modules, it increased a lot. This is crazy. The current price right now, it's over $600. It's actually sitting at around $700. That's something that we have never seen before for DDR4. And this is the last one that we are going to check. This is 3600 MHz, 64 GB as well. A year ago the price was at around $200. 5 months ago the price was at around $380, reaching almost $400, and the current price right now it's at around $600. These prices are so insane, taking in mind that this is DDR4 memory. This is not even DDR5. This is something that we have never never ever seen before. But let's get deep into it. Let's go to the web browser and check prices for DDR4. Let's check DDR4 32GB just to see what the prices are right now. It looks like we have more options than we had 3 months ago, but if we check over here, we can see that the prices are very high for 32GB RAM. We have this PNY for $250. We have these Corsair engines, which are one of the most popular ones, for $312. When I bought these ones for my old PC, I bought them for less than $100. That was 2 years ago. This is so insane. And we have different options over here. We have this Corsair as well for $280. Even this Crucial is one of the brands that sell DDR4 or RAM in general for a cheaper option than all of the other brands. We can still see that the prices are very high. This is almost $280. But let's check 64GB just to see what the prices are right now. We can see over here, these red gas are over $500. This Kingston Fury, $700 for 64GB DDR4. That's almost the same as DDR5 already. We got this Crucial over here for $540. We have this Corsair for $450. But if we scroll down, we check that the prices right now for DDR4 are so high. This is something that we have never seen, because these prices are so high considering that this is DDR4. This is not DDR5. But now let's talk about this crisis that we are currently having right now, because there is a shortage of DDR5 RAM memory, and that shortage is provoking to have high prices on DDR5. But we didn't know that this DDR5 crisis could also affect the DDR4, and that is what is happening right now. Due to the shortage of DDR5, people are starting to see other options, and those other options are DDR4. So now we have a lot of people buying DDR4 RAM memory, and that is causing to have a little bit of shortage on DDR4 as well. And of course that causes the price to go a little higher for DDR4 in this case. So we have this problem that the DDR5 is causing the prices to increase, so people is buying more DDR4, and this is also increasing the price of that DDR4 memory. And if you live under a rock and you're not aware of what's going on, the AI technology are buying all these DDR5 RAM memory to have their systems improved, and this is what is causing this shortage of DDR5 RAM. So in other terms, this AI bubble is affecting the prices of the DDR5 RAM memory, and of course is now affecting the prices of the DDR4 RAM memory as well. And I might be wrong, but I believe that these companies are pushing us to eliminate the low-end components. So if they eliminate these low-end components, it means that these people who are unable to buy expensive components, they won't be able to buy any components at all, because if they eliminate these low-end components, it means that there will be nothing left for them. And we have to take in mind that this is not only affecting computers, but this is also affecting the gaming industry, because consoles, PlayStation, Xbox, all of these gaming consoles need RAM memory as well. So this RAM crisis is affecting everything. It's affecting the gaming industry in general. And like I mentioned before, it's not only affecting the gaming industry, but this is also be affecting all of the electronics and components and appliances and cell phones. All of this is going to be affected by this RAM crisis right now. But what is left for us to do when we have crises like this one, and like the one we had on 2020 due to the graphics card shortage? The only thing for us to do is, for example, keeping the same PC that you have. I recommend that you don't buy. I recommend recommend that you wait. I recommend that you continue operating with your current system with the same equipment that you already have. Now, if you don't have anything, then I recommend you buying something that is not that expensive. You can build a computer that is not gonna be that expensive based on the needs that you have. And if you are not sure about what components you have to buy in order to build your PC this 2026, then I will soon bring a video to this channel, so I will show you how to pick the right components that you need depending on the needs that you have. So I will soon bring that video to this channel, so if you want to learn how to build your own computer this 2026, you will be able to find reliable information. That way you don't spend money on things that you probably don't need. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I will have 3 solutions for you so that you know what to do during this crisis. The first solution that I have for you is to buy used second-hand components so that you don't spend that much money, but you have to make sure that these components work. So if you find a way to test them before you buy them, then that will save you a lot of money, because we have this marketplace on all social media where you can find cheap components, and you always find things that work and that are cheap because they are used. So that's one solution that I recommend during this crisis for people who want to build their computers and their systems, and that way they don't spend a lot of money building a brand new computer. And to be honest, RAM memory usually doesn't fail, so if you buy used memory, you have high percentage of chances that they will work perfectly fine. But again, if you have a way to test them before buying them, then go that way. The second solution that I have for you is to buy one module instead of buying the 2 modules of RAM. Buy just one. I know you're gonna be losing the dual channel with the RAM memory, but if you are planning to have, for example, 64 gigabytes of RAM, you can probably buy only one module of 32 gigabytes right now, and you can later buy another 32 gigabytes module. That way you have your 64 gigabyte memory RAM, but without having to spend all of that money right now, because this crisis is not gonna be there forever. We will get to a point in which prices are gonna go down again, and then if you buy one module right now and then you buy another one in the future, then you will be saving more money than if you buy the 2 modules and you spend that much money on those 2 modules. So you will be sacrificing this dual channel function, but again, that's one solution that you can probably do right now. The third solution that I have for you is to buy right now. If you are doubting about buying your DDR4 modules, do it right now, because the market could put this RAM memory even at higher prices. So don't speculate. If you have the money, buy your RAM right now and don't wait till the market and those prices go up. So these are the 3 solutions that I have for you, but again, don't be rushed to buy components or to buy RAM or to buy a new computer, a new PC, because this crisis that we are having right now is not gonna be there forever. I really do recommend that you use the tools that you have at your disposal. If you have a current PC, use that PC. If you have a laptop, use that laptop. If you have a cell phone and you don't have a PC or a laptop, use your cell phone. So use the tools that you have at your disposal so that you generate money. And now it's a better time more than ever. Generate money so that later you can afford and be able to invest in better equipment, in better PCs, even if the prices are high. Because the better equipment that you have, the more quality content that you will be able to create on social media, and that will lead you to grow and earn more money. So leave me in the comments down below which of the 3 solutions you think is the most ideal one and which one you are going to take based on your personal needs. Don't forget to subscribe so that soon you see how you can build your computer this 2026 depending on what your needs are. Stay tuned and I'll see you on the next one.